As with all hardworking and devoted mothers, Desiree Bierman's life revolves around her son and maintaining a healthy family lifestyle.
This is my son, he's 2.5, his name is Leaf, and we live down here in Sarasota, Florida. My hobbies are pretty much anything active outside. I mean, sports with the kids. I work out 5 or 6 days a week, or used to before my surgeries, and do now. And yard work, anything around the house. Pretty much it. My hobbies are limited as a single mom.
But she suffered a terrible accident while on the job, and years later, after having her son, the pain completely changed her life.
My pain started back in 2008. I was in an airplane turbulence accident as a flight attendant, and the plane dropped 1,000 feet. So I hit the ceiling and the countertop and knocked unconscious. I had concussion, contusion, lower lumbar strains, bulging discs. Now, my back healed pretty well after that, and then after I had my son, I started having serious issues. Like from the day that he was born, I was in severe back pain and was no longer able to do anything I wanted to do. I could barely pick him up as an infant at 8 pounds. The pain on my body was all the way from the base of my skull to the sacral, bottom of the spine. So it was all over. There was certain places that hurt worse than others, but I had various types of pain. I had dull, numbing pain. I had sharp pains that traveled like down my leg, down my side. I had sharp pains that went from my neck to my shoulder. I had numbness in my arms going down to my fingertips, and tingling in the thoracic area behind the shoulder blades that was so distracting. It's basically like somebody's tapping you on the back constantly all day long. And for my work, I sit at a desk and I could barely sit in a chair. It was, in the way of everything that I wanted to do, including, my livelihood, so.
Desiree attempted conservative treatments to resolve her pain. When those methods provided no relief, she looked for help from other surgical facilities.
So the Bonati Spine Institute, they didn't even help me. They had no idea what was wrong with me. And so I'm not gonna just let them go in and start burning out nerves without them actually knowing if it's gonna work or not. So I just, gave up hope at that point and, continued my search.
Desiree knew better than to allow unnecessary surgeries, but she still didn't have any answers. She began to feel that she may actually have to live with this pain forever, until a call from her father. My dad called me one day and he said, I saw a commercial for the Bonati Spine Institute and I really think you should go check it out. He said, it sounds like he's doing some real state-of-the-art type things, and I think you should make an appointment. And, it's like 2 hours away from where I live, and, I was like, oh, just another laser institute, or they're gonna tell me the same thing. So I actually didn't do it, and he kept asking me and asking me and asking me. So finally I made an appointment and went up there. When I initially called the institute, I talked to a lady, and, she kind of talked to me about the process, insurance, MRIs, getting all my information that I already had taken, like MRIs and x-rays and everything like that, get sent up there, which was very easy. They were very accommodating. She, actually took it upon herself to get my information from the x-ray facilities that did my MRIs and x-rays. Then she said that she was going to submit it all to Bonati and that somebody would be calling me. Well, I get a phone call a few days later and it's Dr. Bonati, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, it's kind of like talking to a little celebrity for a second, right? I'm like, he's actually calling me. And he just had some additional questions. He's like, you've got a lot going on and we need to kind of figure out what is the most pressing and where all the pain's coming from. So he took asked me a bunch of questions, and then, I obviously had an appointment, and so he was going to talk to me when I got up there. After a thorough physical examination and extensive analysis of imagery, the Bonati Spine Institute surgeons provided a final diagnosis, pinpointing the root of her problem.
The initial consultation was pretty fascinating. So I'm expecting him to come in and do what every other doctor has done and go over my MRIs and really not know what's going on. But
give their opinion of what they think it is. Dr. Bonati walked in the room and he said, okay, I don't want you to say anything. I'm going to tell you where your pain is based on what I see in the MRIs. And I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting, you know, like I have pain everywhere. Are you going to tell me that? So he pretty much did. Yeah, he told me everywhere the pain was, what it felt like. You know, he feels like a fist is right here. It feels like, you know, you've got pain traveling down. I mean, to the T, like he would say, it goes down the thigh, like mid-thigh, you know, and it stops right there. Or he would ask me how far it goes down. By the time our conversation was over, I was like, I trust you to do anything you want to do. You know exactly where my pain is. You know how to take care of it. He explained the surgeries. I just felt so relieved that somebody knew exactly what was wrong with me and that had a plan to fix it.
For patients like Desiree with multiple areas of pain, the Bonati Spine procedures are performed one level at a time. This ensures their worst pain is eliminated first and allows the patient to recover more quickly. After reevaluating subsequent levels, the surgeon then determines the next location to address.
The most relief I got was in the neck, which was like, actually, I didn't realize how much pain was coming from my neck until he took it away. I was like, oh my gosh, all that pain was from that? I didn't know that. I thought it was just tension or stress or all sorts of different things. So I was very just shocked at actually the amount of pain that he was taking away. I'd lived with it for so long that I didn't know what was normal anymore. And so it was very good.
Desiree had her final procedure in November 2016. She's back to work, back in the gym, and back to making memories with her number one man.
My life has been pretty much night and day since the surgeries. You know, I was depressed because I was in pain all the time, irritable. I couldn't do anything I wanted. Everything, just as the little tasks of bending over to brush your teeth in the sink was like impossible. You know, it definitely changed my life, my personality. Like, you know, I wasn't happy. And after the surgeries, like I got all that back. Like I can work out now, you know, I got my life back. I can go with Leaf and do things. You know, I'm not in pain all the time, which is nice. It's a definite relief. So night and day. I'm sure Bonati's gonna watch this at some point. I just wanna thank him because he's like my savior. You know, he helped me get my life back and what he's doing is really great. And I don't know that anybody else is doing it, and it's worth it for people to come. You know, people come from all over. Sitting in the office, waiting room, and talking to all the other people who are getting back surgeries done and everything. It's really interesting because a lot of people said that they heard about it from somebody else, or they heard about it at church, or it was like a godsend, you know, things like that. And it was just really inspiring to hear other people's stories that are there and the before and after, because you're there going in with people and you get to see their after also, which is, you know, awesome. And it's like, you know, going in pain versus coming out with a smile on your face, and it's just so evident in all the people he's helping, so it's really great.